to the Brandi and Pam podcast. I am Pam,
I'm Brandi.
and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having us today.
We're going to be talking about something.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks. Thanks for.
Hey, thank you for joining us on the Brandi and Pam podcast.
Hi. Hi.
Hey. Don't
That-
you like the melodic hey, hi,
Hey.
what's up? What's going on? What's going on? I like your lip color.
Thank you. What color would you say this is? Plum?
I don't know, but it's quite gorgeous on you.
Thanks. Not
You
a color I
rocking-
would
you rocking
normally.
that lip. I like it.
You like my sweatsuit?
You like mine?
Where'd you get it?
Sam's Club.
Yeah, I love a good Sam's Club deal.
Yo, sometimes the tables there are worth like looking through. You got to find you one. These are cute sweatsuits.
Yeah, this color is nice. Periwinkle.
Yeah. Go to samsclub.com. Go ahead and get you one. All right. So I have been thinking about something since you started dating. And you know how like you start dating somebody and you know like what you want the relationship to look like once you're in it, but those kinds of things aren't necessarily discussed on any of the dates. It's like once you're in the relationship, things pop up and then you have to address them. You know? So like I was thinking about this, and I think it would be very safe for you to have those discussions up front, like terms and conditions.
Okay. So terms and conditions, like meaning like what you will go for and what you won't go for, like
Both of you.
okay.
Yeah, both of you. Like, what that relationship looks like. What are the terms? How do you go about the relationship? Are you still single and living in separate areas? Are you, when you get together, are you planning on moving in together? What is the end game?
You know, I find that more recently, a lot more people are like jumping right in and like, okay, we're together. We're also living together. It's
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
pretty fast.
And there's no marriage or anything like that, but it's just like, all right, we're life partners.
Yeah.
I'm a life partner. I'm in a
Okay.
life partnership.
How long did it take for you guys to like,
You want to hear this story?
why not?
You ready for this? Okay. So I met my man at a birthday party I wasn't even invited to. Okay. And
So you crashed a birthday party. All right.
I saw
Step one, crash an event that you weren't invited to.
That's the best way to meet somebody you don't know. Seriously. Like if you want to meet somebody completely new, go somewhere you were not invited to. So I went to this party I wasn't invited to. And because my niece, she was turning 6 and she wanted me to go to this like kid party. I saw him. I assumed that he had kids because he was at a baby party. But the kids that were crawling all over him and loving him up were his nieces and nephews. And I was like, ooh, he's a good uncle, right? He's a good uncle. You know, you're about to get you a good daddy. So I saw him like being like a really top-notch uncle. And he smiled at me and offered me a glass of wine, which was kind of crazy because, you know, I had never really been to kids' parties where like the adults were kind of like mingling, but this culture is different. Like we're everybody in, you know?
Okay.
So he was really cute to me. He had a very nice smile. He looked pretty inviting. And we ended up like just having a conversation that I liked. He was smart. That's what I enjoyed most about him.
Do you remember the first conversation?
I do. It was about his business that he was just beginning. And he showed me pictures of his work. He's a contractor. So he was showing me like, you know, some renovations that he had done. And I had gone to school for advertising and marketing. So I was like, I can help you get clients. You are amazing. You're so talented. And eventually that did happen. And yeah, like we've been together 12 years now. So that was kind of our first conversation where I already wanted to support him. And I think that was like a grown-up moment for me where I knew I would be with somebody long-term and seriously, you know, because I didn't just see him as like a pretty face. He was somebody that I knew had integrity and was talented and smart and all these things. And I gathered all this just from our conversation that night. So we exchanged numbers but he followed me up there just to give me his number. I was going to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So he came upstairs, and I was like, what are you doing up here? Everyone's going to think we're doing something weird, right? And he was like, I just want to get your phone number. And he wanted to get it in private.
Aw.
It was really cute. It was really, really cute. He wanted to get my phone number in private, so I gave it to him. And I'm about to cry. Oh
I'll
my
say,
gosh.
are you tearing up a little bit?
A little bit.
Oh
I'm thinking
my
about, I
gosh.
can't believe I'm thinking about this memory as if, like, anyway, I live with him. So he called me, I think, like, Sunday. This was a Friday. He called me on a Sunday. We went out on a date. The date was pretty cool. It was, like, chill. We called it not a date. It was BYOB. He brought a six pack. And we went to a Brazilian steakhouse, which he had a voucher for. We talked about this before.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The coupon, right?
Yeah. I thought that was really smart. On that date, we discussed politics, religion, all the big ones. Like, everything you need to get out of the way on the first conversation so you know whether y'all can even talk the next time. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So we talked about all that stuff, the big stuff. And we decided we were just friends because we were both seeing somebody else. Like, I was kind of on the tail end of something, and he was just in a loose thing. So, yeah, that's kind of what happened. And then we lost touch. A couple months later, he found me, sent flowers to my job. So I thought that was pretty romantic.
Aw,
So
that's nice.
That's not a friend thing. You know, he sent flowers to my job. And we love flowers on the job, don't we, ladies?
Mm-hmm.
Flowers on the job. Flowers on the job.
I think guys forget about that kind of stuff.
They need to do it more. Flowers on the job. And it was anonymous. So I had no idea who had sent them because, like I said, we had lost touch. But then he said, did you get the flowers I sent you? And I was like, oh, that was really sweet. Like, it was so, and they were beautiful. Everything that I like was in there. So, let me see. What else happened? What was the question again?
I was just asking you about, like, how you guys,
How we established that we were going to be together?
yeah.
Oh, so, all right. Fast forward. That was a long, drawn-out story, right? So, he was sitting on my sofa in my apartment, came to visit me, came to eat dinner at my place, and he said, do you want to get married? And I was like, to you? And he was like, well, maybe not to me. And I was like, oh, no. I'm going to marry you. Shouldn't have said nothing. You shouldn't have asked me. Thank you for asking. I'm going to marry you.
Got him.
That's exactly how it happened. Like, when I tell that story, it sounds so crazy. But, like, yeah. He said, you want to get married? I said, what? All right. Shouldn't have said nothing to me about no marriage. 'Cause, you know, I need me a dude. I wanted to get married and have babies.
So how long did it take for you guys to, like, decide to, like, move in together and do all that? Like,
It's funny because, like, you know, there's that aha moment, but it's not really an aha moment. It's a I don't want to leave you moment when he's dropping you off at home and it's like, but I want to go with you. I don't want you to leave me here. I don't want you to say goodnight ever again. I never want you to ever drop me off at my place and go back to your place.
yeah.
That's how it felt for me. I was just like, I want to be with you wherever you are. I didn't care where we slept, what we did, as long as I was with him.
Aw.
He made me feel safe.
All right, that's good. I feel like that's, like, one key thing to, you know, knowing that you can be with somebody. Like, do you feel safe? For women at least, like, knowing we
Yeah.
can feel safe.
It definitely made me feel like that.
But you were talking a little bit about, like, terms and conditions and all that. Like, what were some of the things that you guys talked about, like, for your terms and conditions?
I don't think we did. Like, I don't really believe that we talked about, like, what that relationship would look like. We just, you know, like, as regular human beings, we decided to be together and then have some kids together, right? So then once the children were born, we were, like, kind of in a romantic slump. We weren't connecting the same way. We realized that we had never really dated. You know, like, we didn't go on a bunch of dates. We didn't take trips together. We didn't have a lot of just us time before the kids came. And, you know, it was like so fast I became his children's mother. He wasn't my boyfriend. He wasn't my fiance. He was my husband, like, immediately. You know? So we hadn't necessarily considered our terms and conditions, like, in the beginning. And I wouldn't even, you know, that's just, like, kind of a cute way to put it. But, like, we didn't really talk about what our relationship would look like. It was just going to be
Right.
traditional monogamous relationship. We have family. We're going to take care of each other.
Yeah. But I mean, like, a lot of people are not choosing like that traditional monogamous relationship anymore, especially like the second time around. Like if you've been married before, like for me, I like monogamy. Like that feels very safe to me. It feels good.
Yeah,
So I
it's a
know.
lot safer actually if both people agree to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
It's like I'm monogamous, but
the thing
he's
is,
not.
they will agree to it to your face.
Yeah.
But then behind your back, they'll be like, "This is like not enough for me. I need a little bit more of this kind of stimulation. I want this or this or this." And it's like,
And it's not always like the sex that they need more of. It's sometimes it's like other things. Like
it could be anything.
yeah.
Honestly, it could be anything. When I think about it, like sometimes your lifestyles don't necessarily match the people who are the best match for you for your life partner. So
Yeah.
like for instance, you might be more of a left brain person and you are like kind of like regimented. You have to keep to a schedule. You go to bed at nighttime, you wake up in the morning. Then there's that nocturnal person that you might marry and be like, all right, well, are you coming to bed? And you end up kind of like your schedules are different.
Yeah.
Your the things that are like sometimes your life can work together, but you're just like not necessarily aligned in certain ways. I don't know, left brain, right brain things.
Yeah.
So
I can see that because like you're pretty like artistic and like more of a free spirit, and you're kind of matched with somebody that is
yeah, he's
exactly
more,
how you were
yeah.
saying.
Like he can do math in his head and different languages and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you know, where I'm thinking music in my head, there's always a melody happening. So we have different things going on. If you could just like have a picture of what's going on in either of our heads, you'd be like, all right, how does that go? How does that match?
Right.
But what's great about us is that we have a similar value system.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think that the value system is what keeps us solid. You know what I mean?
So when you realize like that you're with somebody and that there is this moment where it's like, okay, you're who I know I want to be with, like we're solid. How do you start to have a conversation about like wanting to have maybe something to mix it up a little bit?
Do you want to have like an alternative kind of like thing where you don't necessarily live with your husband, or?
No, I think that I do want to, like, when I get married again, no, I want to live in the same home.
Like a traditional
Yeah.
kind of
Not,
thing.
well, traditional probably most of the way. It's not going to look like how it did last time, for sure.
Yeah. I
But-
feel like traditionally men have gotten over on women,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm thinking back to my like grandparents, my grandfather, my grandmother. My grandmother stayed at home. She didn't drive. She cooked the meals. She took care of the children. The husband kind of travels. He does whatever he wants to do. And that is where it gets a little sticky because, you know, like a lot of times men or women travel for work.
Yeah.
So say for instance, this is why somebody would choose an alternative lifestyle. If my husband was away for work a lot, I think I would just expect that he's cheating on me. You know what I mean? Like just knowing what I know. Just knowing what I know about the military. I'm sorry. Just know. I'm sorry. They were all my family was in the military. So I'm just like, what I know about them is that they travel, they go places, and they're away from their wives for how long? Like 3 months, 6 months, a year at a time.
Yeah.
What are you doing all the time? Writing letters? Not anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now there's like ways to meet up quickly. You can hide so much, but there's what you can't hide is what's on your face when you get home, and you have to explain where you've been and what you've done.
Yeah.
You know, so it's best to just tell the truth, and that's where the alternative lifestyles come in. And the wife says, "While you're away, the girl will play." Because you're gonna be away for 9 months, and when you come back, he might not be your baby. That's all I'm saying.
Oh gosh. But I guess that would definitely have to be like an agreement that both people decide. Like if you know that he's going to be away,
Yeah.
and it's like, all right, listen, I know you're going to be away. You're going to be doing X,
It's
Y,
like
and
having
Z,
a
but
long
I'm
distance-
going to be doing X, Y, and Z too. Like
Exactly, but traditionally, women
Okay.
have just said, "All right, I'm going to miss you so much."
and acted like they didn't know.
Right. Well, maybe they did really think that their husband was going to just stay faithful to that relationship. And he is. His heart is with you. But he's away from you for a year, you know? So, like, the long distance, that doesn't really work for monogamy. I think that, like, you really have to give some grace to somebody who may have, met another person who tickled their fancy, even if it was temporary. I don't necessarily
I don't have that
disagree.
grace.
I don't disagree with you that whatever it is that makes you comfortable is what makes you comfortable. I just wouldn't choose that kind of arrangement if that's not what I would accept.
Yeah.
So like if my husband's gonna be away, then I'm be like, no, we can't do the away thing.
Okay.
You know.
And you have to know who your partner is too, because I think there probably are some people that can be away for extended periods of time and still not cheat. You don't think?
No, I'm
so?
just saying I wouldn't want to deprive him.
Okay.
I wouldn't want him to feel like it's been a whole year. And
Deprive him. Depriving me. Shoot.
Oh, I'm thinking about myself too.
Okay. Like.
But no matter who he meets out there, no matter what kind of connections he makes, he's not allowed to pursue any of it because he's got somebody at home that he can't touch.
What do you mean pursue? Like
if he's having a conversation with somebody on base, I'm just like giving, who knows? I'm talking about like, any
one of your family members.
Any kind of thing. It's like if he's a musician, he's a touring musician, and he's all over the world all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to expect that because I'm at home keeping the house together, that he's out there on tour, never meeting a woman that he's attracted to, never talking to anybody for extensive periods of time. Like they're on tour together a lot of times, just like when you're a doctor and you work, 12 hours a day and you work side by side with another female. It's like, I don't necessarily believe in sharing my man or him sharing me, but I don't think it's reasonable to think that people are not attracted to other people just because they're in a relationship.
Okay. I think you could be attracted to somebody, but still not pursue anything. And when I am with somebody, I have blinders on, really.
You do.
For everybody else. I'm like, who else is here? Nobody.
You have blinders on for your best friend. I'd be like, yo, she is not answering this phone. Why do we do this when we make a fake phone call? All right.
That's why.
Pam.
I was like,
voicemail again?
You called? I don't know. I was with such
Pam,
and such.
It's me, Brandi. Yeah, I was just calling to see if maybe you'd be available to hang out on Friday.
No, I got a man now. Bye. No.
What's wrong, you say? I lost my best friend to a man. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think, what is an alternative lifestyle to you?
Man, I've been hearing about so many. Like, more recently, like the ethical, non-monogamous. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you heard about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I still don't know what that really means, though.
I
guess I'm not really sure. Like, I think everybody has their own...
Like, their own definition.
Their own arrangement.
Yeah. I'm assuming that means that, like, two people have agreed to, like, be each other's, like, kind of like home base.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And, like, support and all that, but they're going
like my more serious person, my partner.
Right, yeah, like their partner, but they're going to see whoever they want to see. And maybe never get married, but, like, that can be, like, just the person who you can really rely on. Like, they agree to rely on each other.
Okay.
And...
yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So ethical non-monogamy would be like you partner up with somebody, but then you decide like that there are going to be other partners that you may or may not introduce each other to. You could be together or separate with them.
And now, see, I didn't even think about being together with. So,
I don't know if I would want to though.
That's
like, I think the separate is good for me. But let's not talk about what works for me. What are these terms? What are these different lifestyles that people are boasting nowadays?
Well, the thing is that I don't know that, like, people are sharing about it as if, like, this is the way to go, but they're not sharing about like all of the things that could happen that are bad. You know, like how it might tear their relationship apart.
Well, that's where I feel like, if your relationship is already kind of rocky, that you don't choose to be open. You choose to break up, like part ways and date somebody
Yeah.
that's more compatible with you. But if you're compatible and you are like with the partner that you can rely on, that you guys like, you know, are each other's beneficiaries when you die and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you're looking for a little spice in your life and just people to do other things with. Like, I know that Wall likes to kayak. I don't like to kayak, but he's had
Remember though in
people.
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, that was so fun. I loved kayaking with you two
He
ladies.
did not.
I mean, it was boring to me. Maybe it would be more exciting if there were more waves. I don't
I
know.
was like, we were in the pretty
So,
like,
but
yeah,
the kind of people who live an alternative lifestyle though would be insatiable humans. You know what I'm saying? Like people who
yeah,
need just a little bit of extra. And it's nice to have a home base, but it can become really boring for some people. And I know many people that it has become boring for, and they ended up making mistakes rather than just talking it through with their partner. You
yeah.
know? Like, hey, listen, like, what do you want to do about this or that? Like, I'd rather talk about it.
I think it also becomes boring when it's like, all right, when you and your partner are interested in different things, and if that person is just like not willing to at least try something that's outside of their comfort zone, I think that that is important when you're building with someone to say like, hey, I know this is your thing, it's not really mine, but I care this much about you that I'm gonna do something that makes me uncomfortable. Um, I think that that helps to bring the relationship closer together, and a lot of people just are not willing to do that. They're just like, no, do that with somebody else. Like that's just not my thing. Like I'm
Yeah,
cool with you, you know.
I
So
guess so. But I don't know if it's so much that it has to be something outside of your comfort zone. I think that a lot of times it's like something that you just can't relate to. You know, like I feel like it's unrelatable for a person who is not in the music industry to understand why you have to spend so much time on it, or a person who does not draw pictures to understand why you have to spend so much time drawing pictures
yeah.
and showing art or whatever it is. It's like, I guess I'm talking about when you share values as far as like family values and your morals and things like that, but you have different interests. So you end up being in a different circle of friends, and he has a different circle of friends. And then within those circles, there's people you have things in common with, and that can draw you closer to those people and cause for there to be like an attraction, you know? And sometimes that develops into like a sexual attraction. Then you come home and you say, hey, listen, honey, I was at the art gallery showing my art. And I met this beautiful young artist who is quite interested in my work the way that you will never be. So, do you mind if I spend the night with her? And I'm like,
Oh, he's saying this to you. I'm like, her.
oh,
This is plot
so
twist.
that's a little bold of you to ask me if. But I'm just saying, like, it can be
Yeah.
pretty bold, like, for you to bring that up. And it takes a lot of gumption.
But you can also, all right, so I feel like it's two sides to this. So say your partner was like, all right, that's cool. Y'all agreed on that. There's still that other person, right, who might catch feelings. Like you might be like, oh, this is just something that we're going to share. And then I still have my person over here.
Oh, yeah.
But what
Yeah.
about the other person? Like they have feelings too.
Well,
They're
you
just not
know,
like a toy.
I really do believe that there has to be open, honest communication between all parties. Like, everybody has to be sort of on the same page. Like, for instance, if we're talking about a very, very old story that came up in the tabloids, which was like, Austin Alsina and Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. Okay. So they had an agreement. Apparently, they had their agreement. Their agreement was going to be that they have this kind of lifestyle together. The third person, felt like that wasn't enough for him anymore. Maybe he wanted more affection, more of a relationship with Jada, and she was like, wait a minute, that's not what I signed up for. We were supposed to be just this. I can't give you this because this is for this guy, you know? Mm-hmm. And it can become sticky. Like I said, it does become kind of like confusing for people on the outside because, of course, you know, you'll catch some kind of feelings or something like that. Mm-hmm. But that's where polyamory comes in. And that's when you have to revisit those terms and conditions. Like, all right, I think that we are now in love, or I think this guy loves me, or I think this woman loves me. What do we do now? Mm-hmm. And then there has to be a hard conversation, either between you and the third person, you and the third person and your spouse, however that has to happen. But I'm thinking of it this way. Whatever those terms are, it's between those parties. It has nothing to do with what the outside world thinks and all that kind of stuff. I feel like if we focus on what we want in our life, then we can choose our lifestyle accordingly, you know? It's like, all right, I would never subject like some kids to it and be like, all right, we have a third person coming in, they're going to help raise you. No.
Well, that happens a lot. Like, have you watched, what's the Sister Wives TV shows, like where these couples are like looking for that third person and they really want to be part of the family. And, like, they're all, like, down for it. But it just never seems to end well.
No.
Somebody's feelings always gets hurt.
Somebody feels left out.
Yeah.
Somebody feels like they're getting the crappy end of the stick. And I completely get that part, too. But I wouldn't say I don't believe in alternative lifestyles and what people, you know, want to do. It's just you have to be mature enough emotionally to be able to handle everything that comes with that, you know. And some people can do it and some people can't. But I think that mostly it's older people who can do it. Yeah. Older people can handle that. I would not say
once they've been together for a long time and they're like,
you know, like I've seen movies where like the husband is completely aware that the wife is dating the neighbor, you know, and oh my God, like I saw this movie one time where this woman had this relationship with her neighbor and he died, and the husband could not understand why she was so distraught over her neighbor's death. Like more than the rest of the neighbors.
Oh, right, yeah.
And she was like, ah! She was like, ah!
That was her boyfriend. Like,
and he's like, were you having an affair? And now he's like, she's in big trouble over somebody she can never see again.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a double whammy. That was horrible. It was like a horrible way to like lose your life.
It was like, because you kept that secret all the way up to his death.
Yeah.
And now it's revealed.
Terrible. Yeah, but
I feel like we need to revisit this conversation again. Like,
yeah, for sure.
We need to come back with a guest.
We're gonna circle back.
Yeah.
With a guest.
For sure.
And when we do have that guest, I don't know who we're gonna bring on, but they got to be somebody that's actually enjoying this kind of alternative lifestyle.
Yeah.
But going forward in your relationships, will you like actually speak of these terms? Because if you don't, you can very well get cheated on. Like, say it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, that would definitely be something that I would have to communicate, like, the things that are deal breakers, like cheating, no. Like, and that means, like, we're being honest about, like, what's happening. I want to have the kind of communication where if they're not happy in some area or if they feel like this is not working for me anymore, all right, well, let's talk about it and see, you know, what we can agree on. But I already know, like, at this point in my life, I'm not open. No, that is not.
Yeah, open is just like, well, open is not for people who are just established.
Yeah.
Open cannot be for that. I have met people before who said, oh, yeah, we've been together 2 months and we're open. And I'm like, you're not
like
together.
How? That means, like, yeah,
you're not together. You're not
You
together.
yeah.
You're not together. That's,
like, you're not
you
even.
are friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Like you're not together. Like, Wah and I are together.
Yeah.
We are together.
Yeah.
So if I introduce my man to somebody and say, okay, this is my man and we want to introduce this or that to our relationship, then I feel kind of like if that third thing doesn't work out, I do have a home base. But if we've been together 2 months, there's no home base. Like, you're not, you know?
Yeah.
You have to be established. So
I have so much more I need to say about this, but, like, yeah. All right. Let's circle back.
Totally. That's what's up. Yeah.
Okay. Can we just look at it and see?
But we're also going to have a lot of fun.
So yeah, we'll be tackling hard conversations, but it's also going to be a lot of fun because we're a lot of fun.
Yeah, most people say we are a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, I don't know anybody who says that we're not a lot of fun. I'm trying to be serious right now because you told me to be. But really, I want to get bottom busy so bad.